Rimuru Go Back in Time by Rimu-chi. Labyrinth Talk. Rimuru's POV. It's been 3 days since Walpurgis. Right now, I'm in my office, dealing with an ever-growing pile of paperwork that seems to mock me with its sheer volume. Honestly, being a leader is exhausting. As I sign yet another document, the sound of quiet chatter fills the room, blending with the scratching of my pen. Behind me are several of my fiancés, Shizu, Soka, Rain, Kagali, Myorn, Tis, and Shion, each busy in their own way. Shion is polishing her sword while casting the occasional longing glance at me, likely wanting to cook something, a terrifying thought. Soka and Kagali are engaged in a quiet conversation, occasionally chuckling. Myorn and Tis are discussing city plans, while Rain stands near the window, a book in hand but her sharp eyes ever watchful. Across from me, sitting elegantly on one of the guest chairs, is Velzard, Veldora's elder sister and the ice dragon herself. Her regal presence is accentuated by her calm demeanor, though I can tell she's barely containing her annoyance. Behind her stands Misery, her loyal maid, whose neutral expression masks any emotion she might feel. Meanwhile, the mighty Veldora, the storm dragon feared by many, is currently crouched beside my chair, trying his best to remain unnoticed. His enormous frame doesn't help, though. Every so often, I catch him glancing nervously at Velzard, as if she might suddenly pounce on him. Honestly, this dragon. Oh, by the way, I think to myself, Ramirez has officially moved into Tempest. This timeline is full of surprises. In my last life, she didn't decide to live here until much later, but I don't mind her early arrival. She's as lively as ever, and I plan to talk to her about the labyrinth tonight. As for Diablo, he's standing near my desk, exuding his usual confidence. He handled his duties flawlessly, as expected, and his loyalty is as unwavering as ever. In fact, I'd say he's an even bigger simp for me in this timeline. Sometimes, it's a little much, but it's also reassuring. Outside, Kumara and Irina are probably playing with Chloe and the other kids. It's good to know that even amidst the chaos of politics and responsibility, some can still enjoy the simple pleasures of life. I'm halfway through another report when Velzard's voice cuts through the quiet. Her tone is sharp yet calm, like the crack of ice forming in the air. Velzard. How much longer do you plan to hide from me, Veldora? Veldora flinches, his entire body stiffening as he ducks lower. He peeks up at me with wide eyes, silently pleading for help. Veldora. I'm not hiding, sister. His voice cracks halfway through the sentence, completely ruining his attempt at bravado. Then, he leans closer to me and whispers desperately, Rimuru, please, help me. Rescue me. I sigh, pinching the bridge of my nose. Rimuru. Why do you want to punish him anyway? Velzard shifts her gaze to me, her icy blue eyes softening slightly. Still, her tone remains firm. Velzard. Because when he was freed, he didn't even bother to visit me. He's been running around, completely ignoring his elder sister. I glance down at Veldora, whose guilty expression tells me everything I need to know. Letting out another sigh, I prepare to mediate, but Veldora beats me to it. Veldora. I was busy at that time, sister. Velzard raises an eyebrow, her expression unamused. Velzard. Busy with what, exactly? For once, Veldora straightens up, no longer cowering. He looks Velzard in the eye, his voice steady and confident. Veldora. I'm one of the guardians of Tempest now. I've been dedicating myself to creating my own fighting style. The room falls silent. Velzard blinks, clearly taken aback. Misery's stoic expression wavers slightly, and even my fiancés pause what they're doing to stare at him. It's not every day you hear Veldora talk about dedication. Velzard turns to me, her eyes narrowing suspiciously. Velzard. Is this true? I nod, keeping my expression neutral. Rimuru. Yes, it's true. He's been putting in a lot of effort to improve himself. Velzard sighs deeply, her stern demeanor softening. Velzard. Very well. I'll let this slide, for now. But don't think I've forgotten your past laziness, Veldora. I'll be returning to the ice castle today, but I'll be back. I smile politely and give her a small wave. Rimuru. Goodbye, Velzard. See you soon. Velzard rises gracefully, her regal aura intact. Misery follows her closely as they leave the room. The moment the door closes, I let out a long sigh of relief. Rimuru. All right, Veldora, you can come out now. Veldora cautiously peeks out from behind my chair, then finally stands up. His expression is a mix of relief and gratitude. Veldora. Thanks, Rimuru. You really saved me there. I roll my eyes, shaking my head at his antics. Rimuru. Next time, try visiting your sister once in a while, so I don't have to deal with this. Veldora laughs nervously, rubbing the back of his neck. Veldora. I'll think about it. Typical Veldora. After Veldora finally settled down and I managed to finish the last of my paperwork, I turned my attention to Diablo, who had been standing silently in the room, waiting for instructions. His crimson eyes gleamed with anticipation as I called out to him. Rimuru. Diablo, tell me about the task I gave you regarding Falmouth. How did it go? Diablo stepped forward, bowing respectfully before speaking. His voice was smooth, dripping with pride as he recounted his actions. Diablo. Of course, my master. As per your orders, I made my way to Falmouth to relay your message. I ensured the nobles understood the severity of their actions. They were hesitant, as expected, but I left them no room to waver. A week was the deadline, and I made it clear that their failure to decide would bring forth your judgment. I must say, the king's reaction was amusing, as was the fear written on the faces of his court. Ah, humans are truly entertaining in their cowardice. He chuckled softly, as if relishing the memory. Diablo continuing. Beyond that, I ensured that our allies, Human Grucius, were properly informed and well prepared for what's to come. I also made certain that Falmouth's people understand the mercy you've shown them, though I doubt they'll appreciate the kindness of my master as they should. As he finished his report, he bowed deeply once more, awaiting my response. I sighed, leaning back in my chair. Rimuru. Well, sounds like you did a good job. That should send a clear message to Falmouth. Diablo's eyes sparkled at the praise, but I wasn't done yet. Rimuru continuing. I have another task for you. At this, his expression turned serious, though his excitement was unmistakable. Diablo. What might it be, my master? I smiled faintly, knowing he would enjoy this assignment more than most. Rimuru. Bring the other three to me. For a moment, the room was silent. Then, realization dawned on Diablo, and a wide, devilish grin spread across his face. His eyes glinted with pure delight. Diablo. Ah, as expected from my master. You mean to summon the others, white, yellow, and purple. Truly, your wisdom knows no bounds. To unite the primordials under your banner, it is a dream come true. He clasped his hands together, looking genuinely moved. I could practically see the wheels turning in his mind as he considered the possibilities. Rimuru. They'll be helpful to us, don't you think? Diablo. Absolutely, my master. With their strength and loyalty, your glory will shine even brighter across the world. I shall see to this task immediately. Without waiting for further instructions, Diablo bowed deeply one last time. Diablo. By your leave, I shall go and carry out this sacred mission. You will not be disappointed, my master. With that, he vanished, his form dissolving into shadows as he left to fulfill his task. I leaned back in my chair, sighing softly. This timeline was shaping up to be quite different, and I couldn't help but feel both excitement and anticipation for what was to come. If Diablo succeeded, and I had no doubt he would, the arrival of the other primordials would mark yet another turning point in Tempest's rise. Things are about to get even more interesting, I thought to myself, as I turned my attention back to the stack of documents on my desk. The night air in Tempest was crisp and serene, with the glow of the moon casting a gentle light over the town. Inside my office, the pile of paperwork on my desk remained as overwhelming as ever. After sending the girls home for the night, I'd planned to spend a quiet evening tackling these seemingly endless documents. Their concern had been evident, especially Shizu's, but I assured them I would join them later if time allowed. They reluctantly left, though I could feel Shizu's lingering gaze as the door closed. Moments later, the silence was broken by the soft creak of the office door. I looked up to see Irina and Kumara standing there, their faces filled with mischief and energy. Kumara. Big brother, are you busy? Her innocent question made me pause for a moment. I couldn't help but smile at their timing. Rimuru. Yeah, a little bit. Is there something you need? The two exchanged a quick glance before grinning and speaking in perfect unison. Irina and Kumara. We came here to spend time with you. Can we? Their synchronized reply caught me off guard, and I chuckled softly. It wasn't unusual for them to want to spend time with me, but I'd rarely seen them so insistent. Rimuru. Of course, but I still have to finish this work. Is that okay? They both nodded eagerly, their energy infectious. I gestured to the chairs nearby, inviting them to make themselves comfortable. As I returned to my paperwork, the room filled with the quiet sounds of Kumara and Irina whispering to each other. Their presence, though lively, was strangely calming. After a few minutes, I leaned back in my chair, stretching, and an idea struck me like lightning. I stood up abruptly, startling the two girls and catching the attention of Veldora, who had been lounging on the couch in the corner, pretending to read a book but clearly eavesdropping on us. Rimuru. Hey, Veldora. I just thought of something interesting. Veldora immediately perked up, his curiosity piqued. Veldora. Something interesting. What is it? I smirked, knowing he wouldn't be able to resist. Rimuru. Come with me. Let's go meet Ramirez first. Veldora tilted his head, trying to decipher my plan, but ultimately nodded. Veldora. Meet Ramirez. At this hour. Alright, sounds fun. Before we could leave, Kumara and Irina sprang to their feet, their eyes wide with excitement. Kumara. Are we coming too? Rimuru. Of course. Let's go. The four of us left the office and stepped into the quiet streets of Tempest. The town was peaceful, with only the occasional guard patrolling the streets. The cool breeze carried the faint scent of flowers from the nearby gardens, and the soft glow of streetlights illuminated our path. As we walked, Veldora couldn't help but start guessing what I had in mind. Veldora. So, Rimuru, what's this interesting idea? Does it involve food? Or maybe a battle? Or wait, is it some kind of prank? You know I'm always up for a good prank. I shook my head, a small smile playing on my lips. Rimuru. You'll see. Just be patient. Irina teasing. Big brother always has a plan, Uncle Veldora. You'll find out soon enough. Kumara giggled beside her, while Veldora groaned dramatically. Veldora. You're all keeping secrets from me. This is unfair. Before long, we reached Ramirez's small home, a quaint and cozy structure tucked away near the heart of Tempest. Despite the late hour, light spilled out from the windows, and we could hear Ramirez's energetic voice echoing from inside, likely lecturing trainee or chatting with Beretta. I knocked on the door, and within moments, Ramirez flew out to greet us, her tiny wings buzzing with excitement. She stopped abruptly in front of us, placing her hands on her hips as she inspected the group. Ramirez, Rimuru, Veldora, and Irina and Kumara, too. What are you all doing here so late? Did something happen? Her rapid-fire questions made me chuckle. I raised a hand to calm her down. Rimuru. Relax, Ramirez. Nothing bad happened. We just came to talk to you about something. Her curiosity was instantly piqued, and she darted closer, hovering right in front of my face. Ramirez. Talk to me. About what? Is it important? Is it fun? Oh, is it about me being awesome? I laughed and gently pushed her back to give myself some breathing room. Rimuru. It's something I think you'll find very interesting. But let's talk inside. It might take a while. Ramirez's eyes sparkled with excitement as she led us into her home. The interior was as lively and chaotic as I'd expected, with books, trinkets, and magical artifacts scattered everywhere. Trainee was calmly tidying up in one corner, while Beretta stood silently near the entrance, bowing slightly as we entered. As we settled in, I glanced at Veldora, who was already poking around Ramirez's collection of random treasures. Kumara and Irina took seats nearby, their eyes full of anticipation. Rimuru. So, Ramirez, here's what I'm thinking. I leaned forward, a grin spreading across my face as I prepared to unveil my idea. This was going to be the start of something big. As we settled into Ramirez's home, I began to explain my idea. Rimuru. Ramirez, I want to create a labyrinth. A place where adventurers and challengers can test themselves while generating a steady source of income for Tempest. And I'll need your help to make it happen. Ramirez tilted her head, confused but intrigued. Ramirez. A labyrinth. What kind of labyrinth are we talking about here? And how do you expect me to help? I leaned back slightly, smirking. Rimuru. We're going to use your skill, Tiny World. It's the perfect foundation for creating a large, multifloor labyrinth. With that, we can build an environment where challengers face increasingly difficult trials as they descend. It's not just a dungeon, it's an entire ecosystem. Her eyes widened in shock. Ramirez. Wait. How do you even know about Tiny World? I've never told anyone about it. I chuckled and glanced at her knowingly. Rimuru. Let's just say I know a lot of things. Trust me, it's the perfect solution. Before Ramirez could press further, Irina chimed in with her usual confidence. Irina. Big brother knows everything, Ramirez. If he says it'll work, then it'll work. Ramirez pouted, clearly flustered but also curious. Ramirez. HMPH. Fine, I'll go along with it. But you'd better explain this whole plan properly. I nodded and continued explaining the concept in detail. Rimuru. We'll construct multiple floors, each with unique environments, traps, and monsters. Adventurers will enter the labyrinth, face challenges, and try to reach the bottom. Along the way, they'll collect treasures, gain experience, and, of course, contribute to Tempest's economy through entrance fees and treasure exchanges. Beldora, who had been quiet until now, suddenly spoke up, clearly excited. Beldora. So, you're saying it's like an arena but with different levels. Can I have my own floor where challengers fight me as the boss? I sighed, already expecting this kind of question from him. Rimuru. Not exactly. The final floors will have powerful bosses, yes, but I was thinking more along the lines of creating monsters specifically for those roles. However. I smirked, teasing him a bit. Rimuru. If you really want to, we can create a special floor for you, YPU will be the final boss. Just don't go overboard and destroy the entire labyrinth, alright? Beldora grinned, puffing out his chest in pride. Beldora. Of course. I'll make it the most challenging and glorious floor ever. Meanwhile, Kumara's ears twitched as she thought about something. Kumara. Big brother, will there be rooms where adventurers can rest? Or will it be endless fighting? I nodded at her thoughtful question. Rimuru. Good point, Kumara. Yes, we'll include safe zones on certain floors where challengers can rest and recover. That way, they won't give up too easily. Ramirez was still processing everything, her small figure pacing back and forth. Ramirez. Okay, I get the basic idea, but what about me? What exactly do you need me to do? I smiled and gestured toward her. Rimuru. With Tiny World, you can create the space we need. Think of it as the canvas for the labyrinth. Then, we'll work together to populate it with monsters, traps, and environments. Plus, you'll be the labyrinth's guardian, managing its upkeep and ensuring it runs smoothly. Ramirez's wings fluttered excitedly, but then she stopped and frowned. Ramirez. Wait, this sounds like a lot of work. What do I get out of this? I chuckled, already prepared for this question. Rimuru. First, you'll be helping to make Tempest even more famous and influential. Second, you'll have a steady flow of energy from all the challengers who enter the labyrinth. And finally. I leaned in, grinning mischievously. Rimuru. You'll get to be the star of this whole operation. Everyone will know you as the guardian of the labyrinth, the one who controls it all. And more importantly, you will be paid. Her eyes sparkled, and she puffed out her chest. Ramirez. Well, when you put it that way, I guess I can help. But don't forget, I'm still the great and powerful Ramirez. The room erupted in laughter at her declaration, even Beldora couldn't hold back. As the discussion continued, they asked more questions about the specifics, and I patiently answered each one. Kumara and Irina were especially curious about what kind of monsters we'd include, while Beldora kept suggesting increasingly absurd ideas for traps and challenges. By the time we wrapped up the conversation, Ramirez was fully on board, her excitement palpable. This labyrinth was going to be something truly spectacular than Mount last timeline.